Annadurai, popularly called Anna, or Arignar Anna, was a former chief minister of the South Indian state of Tamil Nadu. He was the first member of a Dravidian party to hold that post. He was well known for his oratorical skills and was an acclaimed writer in the Tamil language. He scripted and acted in several plays. Some of his plays were later made into movies. He was the first politician from the Dravidian parties to use Tamil cinema extensively for political propaganda. Born in a middle-class family, he first worked as a school teacher, then moved into the political scene of the Madras Presidency as a journalist. He edited several political journals and enrolled as a member of the Dravidar Kazhagam. As an ardent follower of Periyar E Ramasamy, he rose in stature as a prominent member of the party. With differences looming with Periyar, on issues of separate independent state of Dravidian and on inclusion in the Indian Union, he crossed swords with his political mentor. The antipathy between the two finally erupted when Periyar married Ramasamy, who was much younger than him. Angered by this action of Periyar, Annadurai with his supporters parted from Dravidar Kazhagam and launched his own party, Dravidar Kazhagam. The DMK initially followed ideologies the same as the mother party, Dravidar Kazhagam. But with the evolution of national politics and the Constitution of India after the Sino-Indian War in 1962, Annadurai dropped the claim for an independent, Dravidian. Various protests against the then-ruling Congress government took him to prison on several occasions. The last of which was during the Madras anti-Hindi agitation of 1965. The agitation itself helped Annadurai to gain popular support for his party. His party won a landslide victory in the 1967 state elections. His cabinet was the youngest at that time in India. He legalized self-respect marriages, enforced a two-language policy, implemented subsidies for rice, and renamed Madras state to Tamil Nadu. However, he died of cancer just 2 years into office. His funeral had the highest attendance of any to that date, earning it a Guinness record. Several institutions and organizations are named after him. A splinter party launched by M.G. Ramakandran in 1972 was named after him as Annadurai Kazhagam. Early life: Annadurai was born on September 15, 1909 in Kankipuram, Tamil Nadu, to Natarajan and Bangalu Amal in a middle-class family of Mudalia community. He was raised by his sister Ramasamy Amal. At the age of 21, he married Rani while he was still a student. The couple had no children of their own, so they later adopted and raised Rajasamy's grandchildren. He attended Periyar High School, but left school to work as a clerk in the town's municipal office to assist with the family finances. In 1934, he graduated with a BA degree from Periyar College in Chennai. He then earned a MA degree in economics and politics from the same college. He worked as an English teacher in Periyar High School. Later he quit the teaching job and began involving himself in journalism and politics. Religion: though Anna initially belonged to the openly atheist Dravidar Kazhagam, he later announced his stance towards theism as one race, one God. Though secular to the core, he later described himself as a Hindu sans the sacred ash, a Christian minus the Holy Cross, and a Muslim without the prayer cap. Annadurai would attack superstitions and religious exploitation but would never fight against the spiritual values of society. He once explained his stance towards God and religion as "I do not break coconuts for Periyar, neither do I break his idols. Nanthangayam Adapat Hilai. Pilayaram Adapat Hilai." Entry into politics. Annadurai's interest in politics made him join the Justice Party in 1935. The Justice Party was formed by non-Brahmin elites in 1917. The Justice Party originated with the Madras United League, which was initially started as a work group that helped non-Brahmin students in Madras with accommodation and later grew into a political party under the efforts of leaders like C. Mudalia, Sir Pythagoras Chetty and Dr. T. M. Nair. The party was named South Indian Liberal Federation, popularly known as Justice Party. The party had been in power in Madras Presidency since self-governance was introduced in 1920, until it was defeated by the Indian National Congress in 1937. By the time Annadurai joined the Justice Party, Periyar E. Ramasamy was the party president. Annadurai served as the sub-editor of the Justice magazine. He later became the editor for Viduthalai and was also associated with the Tamil weekly paper, Kudayarasu. He started his own journal Dravidar. In 1944, Periyar renamed the Justice Party to Dravidar Kazhagam and gave up contesting in the elections. Differences with Periyar and birth of DMK. The Indian National Congress, which had been fighting for the independence of India from colonial British rule, was dominated by Brahmins. Periyar assumed that independent India would bring South Indians, especially Tamils, under the dominance of Brahmins and North Indians. For these reasons Periyar called for August 15, 1947, the day of Indian independence, to be a day of mourning. Annadurai opposed this move and the schism between his supporters and Periyar widened. He saw the gaining of independence as an overall achievement of India rather than solely that of Aryan North. Moreover, Periyar's decision on giving up participating in democratic elections was also opposed by Annadurai, in reaction to which he walked out of a party meeting in 1948. Periyar considered that candidates in elections must compromise their ideologies. Moreover, it was Periyar's idea that social reformation can be better achieved outside politics, through education and canvassing the masses, rather than governments. Eventually, when Periyar married Ramasamy, who was 40 years younger than he, the personal differences between Annadurai and Periyar split their supporters. Annadurai launched his own party with his party fragment, along with E.V.K. Sampath. The new party was named Dravidar Kazhagam. DMK's presence was initially restricted to urban centres and its surrounding areas. But by appealing to the urban lower middle and working classes, students, Dalits and lower castes, Annadurai was able to accelerate its growth and spread. He fought for the social justice of the lower castes and thus rapidly gained popular support. Protests in 1953. In 1953, Annadurai directed the DMK to undertake 3 protests, condemning Jawaharlal Nehru, the then Prime Minister of India, for describing the tarring of Hindi letters and railway station boards by DK and DMK activists as childish nonsense, against C. Rajagopalachari, the then Chief Minister of Madras State, for introducing a new educational system that indirectly encouraged traditional caste-based occupations called Kula Kalvaithittam, against renaming Kalakkudai, Dalmiyappuram as the name Dalmiyappuram symbolized North Indian domination. He was eventually sentenced to 3 months' imprisonment in this protest. Dravidar. During his days in Dravidar Kazhagam, Annadurai had supported Periyar's call for an independent Dravidar. The claim for such an independent state stayed alive in the initial days of DMK. E.V.K. Sampath, who had earlier forfeited his inheritance from Periyar to join DMK, saw the call for Dravidar as an unrealistic goal. Responding to Sampath's concern, Annadurai said, Sampath's opposition to using film stars made him cross odds with many other members of the party. Eventually, with looming differences with Annadurai and other leaders on Dravidar, Sampath left the DMK and formed his own party, the Tamil Nationalist Party, in 1961. In 1962, Annadurai said in the Rajya Sabha that Dravidians want the right of self-determination. We want a separate country for southern India. However, the reorganization of states in India on linguistic basis removed Kannada, Telugu and Malayalam-speaking regions from the Madras Presidency, leaving behind a predominantly Tamil Madras state. Giving in to realities, Annadurai and his DMK changed the call of independent Dravidar for Dravidians to independent Tamil Nadu for Tamils. Annadurai felt that remaining in the Indian Union meant accepting linguistic domination and economic backwardness. Nevertheless, the Sino-Indian War brought about changes in the Indian constitution. The 16th Amendment banned any party with sectarian principles from participating in elections. When this amendment was presented in the Parliament of India, Annadurai was one of its members. He vehemently debated against the amendment, but eventually could not stop it from being passed. Faced with the new constitutional changes, Annadurai and his DMK left the call for an independent Tamil homeland on the back burner. From then on, Annadurai and his DMK aimed at achieving better cooperation between the southern states and claimed more autonomy for Tamil Nadu. On the party's position, Annadurai said, anti-Hindi agitations. Hindi was first recommended to be an apt language for official purposes in India by a committee headed by Motilal Nehru in 1928. This move was opposed by people and politicians of Tamil Nadu, since they considered that it would make them second-class citizens when compared to that of native Hindi-speaking North Indians. Protests of 1938. In 1938, the Congress government in Madras Presidency headed by C. Rajagopalachari proposed the use of Hindi language as a compulsory language in schools. This move was opposed by Tamil leaders. Annadurai, along with other Tamil enthusiasts including the poet Bharathidasan Sen, held demonstrations. Annadurai participated in the first anti-Hindi imposition conference held in Kanchipuram on February 27, 1938. Two members of the protest, Thalamuthu and Natarajan, died as a consequence of police beating the same year. With overwhelming opposition, the government of Madras Presidency finally withdrew the order in 1940. Madras anti-Hindi agitation of 1965. When India became a republic with its own constitution in 1950, the constitution had given special status to the Hindi language, which was to gain official status after 15 years in 1965. This move was regarded with anxiety by students in Tamil Nadu. Speaking of making Hindi as official language of India, Annadurai said it is claimed that Hindi should be the common language because it is spoken by the majority. Why should we then claim the tiger as our national animal instead of the rat, which is so much more numerous? Or the peacock as our national bird when the crow is ubiquitous? In view of continued threat to impose Hindi, the DMK held an open-air conference against Hindi imposition at Kodambakkam, Chennai in August 1960, which Annadurai presided over. He gave black flags to leading functionaries, to be shown to the President of India during his visit to the state. Sensing an uprising, Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru assured in the Parliament that English would continue to be the official language of India, as long as non-Hindi-speaking people desire. DMK gave up the plan of showing black flags and Annadurai appealed to the Union government to bring about a constitutional amendment incorporating the assurance. With no constitutional amendment done, Annadurai declared January 26, 1965, the 15th Republic Day of India and also the day the Constitution, which in essence enshrined Hindi as the official language of India, came into practice, as a day of mourning. This move was opposed by the then Chief Minister of Madras State, Bhaktavachalam, as blasphemous. Hence Annadurai, who by then had been trying to shake off the secessionist image of his party, declared January 24 as a day of mourning. He also replaced the slogan of the protests to "Down with Hindi. Long live the Republic." Nevertheless, violence broke out on January 26, initially in Madurai, which within days spread throughout the state. Robert Hargrave Jr., Professor of Humanities, Government and Asian Studies, suggests that the elements contributing to the riots were not instigated by DMK or leftists or even the industrialists, as the Congress government of the state suggested, but were genuine frustrations and discontentment which lay beneath the surface of the people of the state. With violence surging, Annadurai asked the students to forfeit the protests, but some DMK leaders like Karunanidhi kept the agitations going. Nevertheless, Annadurai was arrested for instigating the agitation. Although the violence were not directly instigated by the DMK, the agitation itself aided DMK to win the 1967 elections and Annadurai became the Chief Minister of Madras State. Literary contributions. Annadurai was known as one of the best Tamil orators during his time. He developed a style in Tamil public speaking using metaphors and pleasing alliterations, both in spoken and written language. Anna was also best known for his extempore speaking ability, being very well affluent on rhetoric skills. He has published several novels, short stories and plays which incorporate political themes. He himself acted in some of his plays during his time in the Dravidar Kazhagam. He introduced movie media as a major organ for propaganda of Dravidian politics. In total Annadurai scripted 6 screenplays. His first movie Nilathambi, which starred N.S. Krishnan, promoted cooperative farming and abolition of zamindari system. His novels such as Vilayakari and Orai, which were later made into movies, carried the hallmarks of propaganda for Dravidian politics. On Vilayakari, Annadurai said that the movie, Vilayakari, made direct references against the suppressive landlords who were traditionally allied with Jawaharlal Nehru and Gandhi. His movies had some elements of Dravidian political ideologies like anti-Brahmanism and messages differing against Congress, with detailed reasons and scenarios behind. Popular stage and scene actors who stood by Anna in early years were Dravidar Ramasamy, K.R. Ramasamy, N.S. Krishnan, S.S. Rajendran, Sivaji Ganesan and M.G. Ramachandran. Some of his books had a social approach and its content were debatable, such as Ramasamy, in which he highlighted the viewpoint of bringing an equal living society regardless of any caste dominance, and especially drawing similarities which existed by then of the upper caste Brahmin people. He was fined 700 Indian rupees for sedition and was also sent to prison. Some of his well-known works are his books Annavan Satazabais Sorpolavukal, Ilacha Varalaru, Vorkapul and Rankon Rutta. His work Kambarasam criticizes Ramayana of Kamban. His works of fiction such as Kapathiprakathal, Parvati Ba, Kalingarani and Pravaleen Payanam carried elements of political propaganda. At times when Dravidar Kazhagam was extensively using movies for its propaganda, censorship crippled the process. To evade censorships, DMK movies used Annadurai's popular nickname Anna, which also means elder brother in Tamil, as a pun. When praises were bestowed on the Anna on screen, the crowd would break into applause. Kannadasan has criticized Anna's works that apart from Sivaji Kanda Hindu Rayamanidi Devan Mayakam, the rest lacked even a plot. Posts held. The provincial conference of the DMK was held at Tiruchirappalli in May 1956. Annadurai stepped down from the general secretaryship of the party, and Nedunchishian was elected to that position. It was at the Tiruchirappalli conference that the party decided to contest Free India's second general elections, which were to be held in 1957. The DMK secured 15 assembly seats and 2 parliamentary seats. Anna was elected from his home constituency, Kanchipuram, for the first time to the Madras Legislative Assembly. In that election, the DMK won 15 seats and Annadurai became the leader of the opposition in the state. In 1962, the DMK emerged as the major political party in the state outside the Congress, winning 50 seats in the assembly. Although Annadurai himself lost the elections, he was nominated as a member of parliament to the upper house. As chief minister, in 1967, the Congress lost 9 states to opposition parties, but it was only in Madras state that a single non-Congress party majority was achieved. The electoral victory of 1967 is also reputed to an electoral fusion among the non-Congress parties to avoid a split in the opposition votes. Rajagopalachari, a former senior leader of the Congress party, had by then left the Congress and launched the right-wing Swatantra Party. He played a vital role in bringing about the electoral fusion amongst the opposition parties to align against the Congress. At that time, his cabinet was the youngest in the country. Annadurai legalized self-respect marriages for the first time in the country. Such marriages were void of priests to preside over the ceremony and thus did not need a Brahmin to carry out the wedding. Self-respect marriages were a brainchild of Periyar, who regarded the then conventional marriages as mere financial arrangements which often caused great debt through dowry. Self-respect marriages, according to him, encouraged intercaste marriages and caused arranged marriages to be replaced by love marriages. Annadurai was also the first to use subsidizing of the price of rice for election victory. He promised 1 rupee a measure of rice, which he initially implemented once in government, but had to withdraw later. Subsidizing rice costs are still used as an election promise in Tamil Nadu. It was Annadurai's government that renamed the Madras state to its present-day form, declaring officially as Tamil Nadu. The name change itself was first presented in the upper house of the Parliament of India by Bhupesh Gupta, a communist MP from West Bengal, but was then defeated. With Annadurai as chief minister, the State Assembly succeeded in passing the bill renaming the states. Another major achievement of Annadurai's government was to introduce a two-language policy over the then-popular three-language formula. The three-language formula, which was implemented in the neighboring states of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala, entitled students to study three languages, the regional language, English and Hindi. It was during the period of his chief ministership that the Second World Tamil Conference was conducted on a grand scale on January 3, 1968. Nevertheless, when a commemorative stamp was released to mark the Tamil Conference, Annadurai expressed his dissatisfaction that the stamp contained Hindi when it was for Tamil. Annadurai also issued an order for the removal of the pictures of gods and religious symbols from public offices and buildings. He proceeded on a world tour as an invitee of the Yale University's Chubb Fellowship program and was also a guest of the State Department in the USA in April–May 1968. He was awarded the Chubb Fellowship at Yale University, being the first non-American to receive this honor. The same year he was awarded an honorary doctorate from Annadurai University. Death. On September 10, 1968, Annadurai traveled to New York for medical treatment. He was operated for cancer in the gullet at the Memorial Sloan-Kettering Cancer Center. He returned to Chennai in November and continued to address several official functions against medical advice. His health deteriorated further and he died on February 3, 1969. His cancer was attributed to his habit of chewing tobacco. His funeral had the highest number of attendees until then, as registered with the Guinness Book of Records. An estimated 15 million people attended it. His remains were buried in the northern end of Marina Beach, which is now called Anna Memorial. Legacy. After his electoral success with his DMK in 1967, the Congress has not yet returned to power in Tamil Nadu. His government was the first in the country to be from a non-Congress party with full majority. When the DMK later split, with M.G. Ramachandran forming his own Dravidian party, the rebel fragment was named after Annadurai as Anna DMK. Annanagar, a residential neighborhood in Chennai, is named after him. Sri Lankan Tamil nationalist leaders and writers are considered to be influenced by Annadurai's chaste Tamil movement. Anna University, a premier institution in science and technology, was named after him. DMK's current head office, built in 1987, is named after him as Annadurai Vilayam. One of the major roads in Chennai was named in his honor, Anna Salaya. It was previously called Mount Road, and a statue of Annadurai now stands there. The central government issued a commemorative coin of 5 denomination to mark the centenary celebrations of him on September 15, 2009 in Chennai. Jawaharlal Nehru hailed him as one of the great parliamentarians for speeches in Rajya Sabha. Slick Harrison, an US-based analyst of South Asian and East Asian politics and journalism, commented, "The magazine India Today has listed Annadurai in its top 100 people who shaped India by thought, action, art, culture and spirit." In 2010, Anna Centenary Library was established in Chennai in remembrance of Annadurai. Filmography. Anna's first movie script, of his play Vilayakari, fetched him a fee of 12,000 Indian rupees, a considerable sum at that time. Apart from his stories, the names of some of Annadurai's works were used as film titles for Panathotam, Vallabhavarundu, Kumarikottam, Rajapat Rangdurai, Nidi Devan Mayakam. Bibliography, fiction, non-fiction, photo gallery. See also, list of places named after C.N. Annadurai, references. External links, C.N. Annadurai, 100 Tamils of 20th Century, C.N. Annadurai Centenary, the website for C.N. Annadurai 100th birthday. To know all about Arignar Anna, visit www.arignaranna.net. To read all works of Arignar Anna, visit www.annavinpadapugal.info.